It's Monday during football season, which means we have rankings this time with Class 2A. Again, any rankings and all rankings for all 7 classes will be on our YouTube page. So if you're not looking for Class 2A, be sure to go check out our YouTube page and you can see all of them and more content. We're going to be working on getting plenty of content up on our YouTube page this week. But without a doubt, let's get right into Class 2A. And we will start with 16 through 11. Number 16, Centerville. They dropped 2 spots. They lost 21-13 to Albee of 2A. North Fayette Valley, they lost 50-22 to Independence of 3A. Again, Independence is a top dog in 3A, so not too bad of a loss there for the number 15 team in Class 2A, North Fayette Valley. 14, New Hampton, they moved down 3 after a 42-12 or 42-14 loss to Denver of 1A. Northeast, they move up 2 spots after beating Bellevue 40-16. Class A is Bellevue. Western Christian, they move up 4 spots after beating Boyden Hull Rock Valley 27-6. Boyden Hull Rock Valley is a 3A school, so nice win for Western Christian there. Number 11, Kemper Catholic, they lost to 3A's Heelan 22-19. That was a close game. I was following it a little bit, but Kemper falls in the final quarter to Heelan, so they will drop 1 spot. But again, DJ Vanami and company will look to right the ship this week. That team will be just fine in their first year in Class 2A. Mediapolis will open up our top 10 as I get that ready to go. They took down Columbus 33-7. Again, Columbus is a team that got a lot of hype in Class A. They won that game 33-7, and that was on the backs of the running game, which collected 238 yards. Jackson Hutchinson led the way with 21 carries for 113 yards. So again, Minneapolis enters the top 10. They move up 2 spots this week. Osage, number 9, they drop 1 spot after a heartbreaking 1-point loss to St. Ansgar. St. Ansgar, again, Class A. Max Knudsen threw for 186 yards and a touchdown. Again, Osage loses by 1 to St. Ansgar, and they will drop 1 spot to number 9 this week. West Marshall, week 1 did not go how they wanted. They lost to a very good Nevada team, but they will stay in the top 10. They look to bounce back this week against South Hamilton. Again, West Marshall moves down 1 spot after losing to the Nevada, who's a 3A school. PCM at the number 7 spot, they move up 2 spots. They defeated Sigourney Keota 22-15, and they will square off with Pella Christian this week, a team that's gotten some love in our 1A rankings. Greene County, similar. They moved down 2 spots. Greene County will not drop too far after losing a game versus a 3A opponent, Carroll, who is now in the 3A top 16. They weren't last week, but they are now. So the Rams will not drop too much, but they will drop out of the top 5. The Rams will open their home season this week against Perry. That was rounding out 10 through 16. I will pull up our top 5 for Class 2A this week. West Lyon, they move up 1 spot from 6 to 5. Safety was the only points that Sioux Center were able to put on the board. And this is a good win versus a 3A team to open the season. West Lyon had 170 rushing yards in this game and only 23 passing yards, but it was able to get the job done, which is all that counts. They'll go on the road to square off with Lawton Bronson this week. Lawton Bronson, a team that really almost took down a top team in Class A in Woodbury Central, so that should be a good one right there. Again, West Lyon moving into the top 5. Monticello, they drop a spot. They were 3 last week. They'll be 4 this week. They'll not fall too far. They will not fall too far, though, after losing to perennial power 3A's Mount Vernon, who will be a top dog all year in 3A. Again, they got Preston Rise. They'll be just fine. They'll look to bounce back and get in the win column this week, but they will drop 1 spot in our week 2 polls. At number 3, Spirit Lake. They move up 2 spots. They were number 5 last week. A really good opening win over 3A Algona, 30-22, has moved Spirit Lake up. Spirit Lake's defense recovered 4 fumbles in this game, which helped them leave with a road win. Bodie Higgins collected 3 rushing touchdowns against Spirit Lake, picking up a win over Alex Mansky and Algona. So a nice win there. We'll move them up a few spots. And our top 2 has remained unchanged. Van Meter, they took care of business against Underwood, 1A school that's really getting a lot of love in our polls. They win that game 21-14. They were down 14-0 in that game and came back and win. And a lot of that was thanks to Ben Gordon, who rushed for 155 yards and a touchdown on 19 attempts and had 2 receptions for 40 yards and a touchdown. So again, nearly 200 total yards on offense for Ben Gordon and 3 touchdowns. Van Meter will have a home game this week against Des Moines Christian, so they'll hold that number 2 spot down pretty solid. In our top team, Central Lyon, George Little Rock. They defeated Emmitsburg 48-8 in the opening game. Lions defense had a shutout going until the end when they kind of got a cheap touchdown to lose the shutout, but nevertheless an impressive victory for our Class 2A number 1 team. Again, some really impressive threats on the edge with Reese Vanderzee and Graham Even, both Iowa commits, in a matchup this week with 3A's MOC Floyd Valley should be a good test for the Lions. So again, Central Lyon, Georgia Little Rock, and Van Meter hold down 1 and 2 this week for our week 2 polls. And that's all we got. Be sure to subscribe to IA Sports on YouTube. Follow IA Football on all socials. We got tons of content coming your way. We appreciate you guys' support. And be sure to check out the rest of the rankings for this week across all classes to kind of build your knowledge in the game of Iowa high school football. But nevertheless, we'll catch you guys next week.